the beach. Mostly associated with leisure and good times with the family. People are rarely thinking about that this might have been the place where a conqueror began its conquest of the land. It is not its history, it is what washes ashore that intrigues us more, as the beaches tend to collect whatever treasures and secrets the sea is willing to give away. From the shore, humans glance over the oceans in both awe and despair, wondering what is hidden beneath the waves. But while staring into the distance, observing the sea, we might miss what is right underneath our feet.
Now, before we get started with this SCP, let me inform you that this file has been modified over the years due to changing circumstances. For the sake of thoroughness, we will include these modifications as iterations 1 to 4. With that explanation out of the way, let's get started with SCP-2217. Iteration 1. Archived since the 19th of December 18. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. SCP-2217 is to be closed off to the public with the standard cover story 419 that it is private property being enacted to prevent trespassing. A meteorology center has been established near SCP-2217 to efficiently predict lightning strikes in the area, as well as other phenomena that contribute to the formation of anomalies on SCP-2217. Individuals attempting to breach the perimeter of SCP-2217 are to be detained and interrogated. Any individual who is found to have connections with Group of Interest 004A, better known as the Church of the Broken God, are to be detained indefinitely or terminated if they have been exposed to one of the contagious SCPs related to Group of Interest 004. Description: SCP-2217 is the entirety of the beach on the island of Greece. The sand of SCP-2217 is composed of non-anomalous silicates and calcium compounds, as well as several cationic metal particles which hold their charge despite being grounded. These particles partially act as a catalyst for the anomaly related to SCP-2217. The beach also houses a small silicate cliff at the northernmost end, the interior of which is affected by the anomaly. Natural processes that take place on SCP-2217 include the decay of sea life that washes upon it, erosion of the shoreline, lightning strikes, and other weather conditions result in the creation of structures and devices that are seemingly artificial in nature. These structures and devices shall be collectively designated SCP-2217-A. It's gonna be one of those SCPs, isn't it? Notable SCP-2217-A instances include several forms of machinery, ranging from simple timepieces to complex automatons, which are constructed from fulgurite and are often found buried under the sand of SCP-2217 following a lightning strike. Apart from the circumstances of creation, these items do not have any anomalous properties and are fully functional. The second instance is jewelry evidently fashioned from sea glass and other waste products, such as discarded light bulbs, hulls of ships, and animal bones. This jewelry often resembles or bears religious iconography used by the Broken Church. The third instance is a model of a large city, designated SCP-2217-A1. See what I mean? SCP-2217-A1 is located in a grotto within a cliff on the beach, which is accessible only via an underground entrance. Analysis appears to show that SCP-2217 SCP-2217-A1 was entirely carved by natural forces such as tidal erosion. Structural elements in SCP-2217-A1 appear to correspond to an unknown ancient Greek city with a temple bearing the word Khafra. This name is shared with an island in the Attica region of Greece, approximately kilometers from SCP-2217. The model bears several forms of religious iconography related to all three factions of the Church of the Broken God. However, despite the apparent Greek architecture, geographical features more closely resemble those found near Lake Baikal in southern Siberia. SCP-2217 is considered a holy site by the Broken Church, a splinter faction of the Church of the Broken God. A piece of scripture used by this religion, the Book of Rites, describes SCP-2217. Addendum: an excerpt from the Book of Rites. The boy looked at the ocean with his family, and he saw fire rain down from God himself. God said to the boy, "This is my workshop. It is where I make my many wonders. The lightning is my hammer, the earth my anvil, the sand my ingot. Come, boy, come into my workshop." And the boy went, leaving his family behind. The boy's family wept, thinking that the boy was going to his death. They did not hear the God like the boy did. Only God's anvil. The boy spread his arms and cried to the sky, "God, here I am! Show me your wonders." And God did. He brought his hammer down on the boy, smiting him and tearing him asunder. He, like his God, was now broken. But the boy did not die. Instead, he became one with God's first children, forever marked. This mark was not a visible one, it was in his mind. The mark was the blueprint of God itself. But it was only a fraction of the true blueprint. But he knew one day it would smite the flesh. The boy called out to his family, "Come and see the wonders of God. Let him smite you onto his anvil, and you shall be struck into a new form." And so his family saw the power of God. Got carried away a little bit over there. Next up are a number of incidents which occurred on the beach. Incident 2217-14. On the 1st of January, a magnitude 4.1 earthquake occurred on SCP-2217, with the epicenter being concentrated around the grotto where SCP-2217-A1 is located. A automaton was launched and guided into SCP-2217-A1's cavern, where it was discovered a large structural shift had taken place. Several of the buildings appeared to be in the process of being consumed by a substance resembling Bahoihoi lava. From this mass, several beings resembling individuals infected by SCP-610 were storming the town, destroying the buildings and devouring humanoid figures. No individual figures were seen in SCP-2217-A1 prior till this incident, obviously. SCP-610, oh maybe, I'll tell you about that one day. Iteration number 2. Archived since the 5th of August, 18. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2217 is to be closed off to the public with the standard cover story 419 that it is private property being enacted to prevent trespassing. And oh yes, private beach doesn't mean nude beach, so dress appropriately next time. SCP-2217 is currently under attack by forces from the Broken God. And anomalous activity on SCP-2217 has increased exponentially. In the event that a member of Foundation personnel is struck by lightning on SCP-2217 and survives, they are to be immediately detained and taken to Site 2217 Alpha in Sicily for indefinite containment. Iteration 3. Archived since the 21st of May, 18. Object Class Uncontained. Special Containment Procedures. Retrieval and research into possible uses of SCP-2217 is currently Priority Alpha for the Foundation. All members of Group of Interest 004, the Church of the Broken God, in Foundation custody are to be interrogated using experimental compound amnestic CA, a derivative of Class A amnestics. A partnership with the Horizon Initiative has allowed the Foundation near unlimited access to scripture related to the Church of the Broken God, which is being reviewed. If the events occur that correspond with chapters 20 to 27 in the Book of Disassembly, immediate action is to be taken, and the Lake Baikal region is to undergo immediate Penzance treatment. Incident 2217-35. Starting on the 12th of December, several members of the Broken Church have attempted to attack the island where SCP-2217 is located in an attempt to reclaim it for the Church. Experimental magnetic weaponry developed by the Esoteric Warfare Unit is currently being used to repel the attacks. However, there have been reports of Foundation personnel defecting after getting struck by lightning on SCP-2217, invariably stating that God needs to be reassembled. These personnel are to be detained immediately. Incident 2217-42. On the 28th of July 2018, a large group of Broken Church members, several of which were anomalously augmented, attempted to storm SCP-2217 and the Foundation's outpost located on it. Broken Church adherents were reportedly accompanied by members of the Cogwork Orthodox and the Church of Maxwellism, despite reports of intense animosity between these groups. The capture of SCP-2217 was successful, with all Foundation members either killed or captured by members of the Church of the Broken God. A video message was sent by an alleged Saint Gates of the Church of Maxwellism containing the following message.
Oh, disassemblers who call themselves a foundation. What are you a foundation for? If you are a foundation for life, then you will let us keep this land. For the flesh is coming, and only we can stop it. We need to bring our God back together immediately, or else you will all perish. Juan spoke of the coming of the flesh. Horrors, 25.7 to 12.2. And now, it is time. You will let us defeat the flesh. If you are a foundation for life, you will not let this happen. You will let us defeat the flesh.
Several other messages followed, demanding the relinquishing of SCPs related to the Church of the Broken God. As of the 1st of August, all Foundation personnel on SCP-2217 have defected. As of the 5th of August, SCP-2217 remains uncontained. Observational Report 2217-04. Since failure of containment of SCP-2217, Foundation satellites have been observing the beach. Images appear to show members of the Church of the Broken God drawing symbols in the sand. The Triumvirate, a joint task force with the Horizon Initiative and the Global Occult Coalition, has found that these symbols correspond to a large-scale summoning ritual used to revive UAE Alpha 015, better known as the Broken God, Mekan, or One. Plans for a large-scale invasion of SCP-2217 are currently underway. Incident 610-2217. On the 1st of January 2019, at midnight, a large earthquake occurred in the Lake Baikal region. This seismic event corresponded with a large influx of SCP-610 instances, which started attacking the perimeter of the containment area. Foundation forces suffered high casualties and a near containment breach of SCP-610. However, the breach was stopped by a sudden appearance of several augmented members of the Church of the Broken God, who then proceeded in assisting the Foundation's forces in containing the breach. The Church members had evidently been waiting in the area around Lake Baikal for at least 15 days prior to the breach, later claiming that God had told them to come to the Foundation's aid. The breach was successfully contained when a large-scale electrical discharge occurred on the 4th of January, destroying all SCP-610 instances within a 5-kilometer radius of the point of impact. Non-SCP-610 lifeforms, including Foundation personnel caught in the area, were not infected, except for total destruction of the SCP-610 contagion in their bodies. Satellite photography shows that the discharge originated on the island, where SCP-2217 is located, approximately 20 minutes prior to the impact. Following this occurrence, a message from Robert Bomorrow, the leader of the Broken Church, was received by all Triumvirate leaders, including O5 Command, the director of the Global Occult Coalition, and the Horizons Initiative's Tribunal.
It is not too late, you know. Don't forget, this is our world too. We want the flesh to die as much as you do. Let us help you. Let us help each other. Please come to the Anvil where we can talk, so we may save this world. Together.
Current iteration number 4. Active as of the 21st of May 18 by unanimous O5 Council vote. Object Class Famuel. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2217 has been reclassified as a Famuel class anomaly to prevent scenario XK-610-Omega. The Foundation, Horizon Initiative, and the Global Occult Coalition assets, codenamed Triumvirate, are currently collaborating with Broken God members to attempt to summon UAI Aleph 15 as a further countermeasure to aforementioned XK class scenario. Scenario XK-610-Omega will be triggered on the 31st of December 18. The secrecy directive will not apply to any actions taken to prevent XK-610 Ultra on this date. Addendum 2217-Famuel. On the 14th of May, O5 Command anomalously voted for temporary collaborative measures with the Church of the Broken God in order to prevent a end-of-the-world class scenario. SCP-2217 has been reclassified as a Famuel class anomaly to prevent scenario XK-610-Omega. During the prevention of this scenario, all secrecy protocols will be recited with a high probability of leading a LV0 lifted veil scenario. This is deemed a necessary risk. To help the public adjust in the event of a possible LV0 scenario, the Triumvirate has created Project NUI. Project NUI will use the combination of NUI 5 amnestics and gradual civilian exposure to harmless E-class anomalies, as well as anomalies that have been given the -X designation but have yet to be released to the public. As of the 25th of August, SCP-2217 will remain under Triumvirate control, and Project NUI is operating at 45% effectiveness. Well, isn't all of that exciting? But what does it all mean? Next time we may shed some light on that. As for SCP-610, well, we'll just have to see. If you want me to provide more information on these subjects, don't forget to show your approval down below. Till next time. Now I would like to thank my Patreon patrons: Jax Marek, Steam Chest, The Groenevee Absinthe, Steamy Wonders, Musical Wizardry, Mr. Lotus, Feline Lung, Kathy Ma, and Phoebe Darkling. If you want a personal thank you at the end of our episodes, please support us on Patreon. Till next time, and happy Halloween.